All right. Hey, guys, I'm here with Juani with Duncanville Outreach Ministry, and we're just going to ask her a few questions, let her introduce herself and the organization that she's partnered with.
Hi, I'm Juani Hernandez. I'm the Executive Director of Duncanville Outreach Ministry, where we actually provide services for the community in Duncanville and Dallas County. We have the food pantry, we have family services, which includes the rental, utility, gas, and clothing voucher, and we also have a thrift store, which all the donations from the thrift store come back to the family services side.
Wow. I mean, that was a lot, but I'm really excited to be here with you today, Juani. And, just to cut straight to the point, we got a lot of food items back here. And, this is pretty full shelves. How many people do you guys expect to serve throughout the holiday season?
We are expecting more than usual, especially with the government issue that's been happening.
Sure.
We've had a lot of cutoffs. We've seen more, actually double than what we usually see.
Okay.
Just yesterday, we served 125 just individuals within the 3 hours that we were open.
Just in 3 hours?
Just in 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
And that's a lot.
Okay.
And we usually serve about 60 to 70, but 125 is quite a lot. And that includes most of our seniors on fixed income.
So, guys, what I'm hearing is that the things we see in the news about our government and, some of the challenges they're facing, it's not just headlines. It's actually impacting local organizations that are meant to serve the community. And you said you've got more than double what you would typically serve, which is just, it's unbelievable to me that your organization, sort of based on donations and community partnerships, is having to step in an area that the church is unable to do, and that breaks my heart. But I think that that's just a testament to why this organization exists. So tell me a little bit about the food items you've got back here.
So we have, this is a partnership or donations from Crossroads, which is the food bank.
Okay.
So this is where we get most of our items. So we have like the peaches, black beans, veggies, and the corn. So these are the items that most of our families get throughout the week. If you can see here, we do have cereal, but that's very limited.
Okay.
That's a highly requested item by the kids.
Sure.
And peanut butter and jelly. And then as you can see, this is all the peanut butter that we have and the only jelly that we have available. So
well, I know that wouldn't last very long with my kids, and I've only got two. So that's something obviously that it seems like might be an area that's a bit challenging this time of year.
Yep.
So with the increased capacity that you have to serve, do you find that not restaurants or grocery stores, the organizations that are providing these donations, do you think they're able to keep up this time of year?
No, not at all. With the partnerships that we have, with which we have Kroger, Tum Tum, Costco, Winco, Target, Cheddar's, but that's give or take.
Yeah.
So because everything that's been happening, we usually get meat, and that's a hit and miss. Not always, not every Tuesday or Thursday. But when we do, we're making it a priority to give it only to families with children.
Families with children, okay.
Same thing with the milk. We do have a partnership with one of the churches. They provide the milk, but not enough for everyone. So the milk, the meat, and the cereal are a priority for families with children at this point.
Okay.
So the rest of the families who are just adults or seniors are not getting any of those items because we had to change things around to provide more for the families with children in the home.
Like I mentioned, I have children myself, and I'm glad to hear that because my kids would gladly eat cereal all the time. I don't need them with all that sugar. So having the protein is great. But going back to the elderly and the fact that they're already on a fixed income, they probably can't afford to go out and have a nice steak dinner on their own, right? And so that protein can be just as big a detriment to them. Would it benefit the organization, or would you accept for just local communities or maybe even other businesses watching our page, could they make those meat donations? Okay, they could.
The meat donations, especially with seniors who are dealing with diabetes or high blood pressure, they usually request produce, but that's something that we also rarely get. So that's also a hit and miss. But those are some of the things that we do get asked. Is the produce side of it, because it's healthier versus a canned good.
Okay.
Because of the sodium or the sugar in the canned goods.
Okay.
Versus something that's more natural that will be more helpful to them.
Going back to a number that you mentioned, you said there's roughly 300 to 400 Was that families or individuals?
Those families.
That's families. Okay. And so let's just say, if I could make a challenge and put something out there, if 400 people could hear this from you and just make the effort, right? And you know, we're all going to be overstuffed, right? Bringing things home. You're already making the trip to the grocery store. I think that if we just made a consistent effort, you know, maybe once a week, I think that we could have 400 people make a weekly donation. It wouldn't cost very much, and it would serve a much greater need because, like I said, I'm grateful to hear the kids have the protein, but, you know, with the health complications of the elderly not getting the protein, that seems like a big challenge that we need to serve you in that way.
For sure. And most of the items that we get from those stores are already on clearance, so some of those donors prefer to buy those items at a cheaper cost and donate them directly. That will help us tremendously because that's why it's a hit and miss, because other people are shopping for those items, which is fine. But if we can get some of those items at a cheaper cost to the donor, that'd be great too.
No, and that's fair enough. I know my wife will do that sometimes before we go to church, she'll run the Kroger and pick everything up while it's marked down. So I think doing things like that make it very easy for the average household to make that donation, make that effort. And so I don't think that that's too much to ask. I'm very grateful that you had the opportunity to speak to us and share this with us. So we know that we need meat. Sounds like produce is a big, area there, which we need to, again, that consistency because that can spoil, correct?
Right.
But then also cereal, peanut butter and jelly. Look, I mean, I think you can also, going into the holiday season, get your kids to help you shop for those things that they already enjoy and make sure that other children have that as well.
Yes.
Is there any other way that you might need service from our community?
We definitely need more volunteers.
Volunteers,
yes.
Okay.
We are pretty much set for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. When it comes to Thursday and Friday, we're kind of shorthanded, especially on the family services. That's where all the intake takes place for the utility and the food pantry.
Okay.
It's usually the manager working it or myself. Or if we get lucky, we have one volunteer and then the manager. Okay. So that's where we need the most, especially with everything that's happening right now. And SNAP benefits have not been returned completely. So I know some of the federal workers have not received all their pay, so they're behind with their utilities. So we have seen an increase on that too, and it's been very hard for us to keep up because we're seeing 10 to 20 requests within a few hours, and then we were off Tuesday. We had over 300 voicemails that we couldn't even go through for utility assistance. And we tried to do as many as we could, but we just couldn't keep up with all 300.
I would assume then you're absolutely too busy to talk to me right now, but thank you so much for giving us the time. I know this was a big chunk of your day. I hope that this reaches people and they feel called to serve in any way that they can. I know myself, I'm already, the wheels are turning, but, let me get the word out for you and we'll get some contact info so that we know how to put people in contact with you. Okay. Do you have a Facebook, Instagram? Do you have an email that they can
so we do have a Facebook and Instagram, but we don't have a social media person to just be designated to it. So anybody want to volunteer on that'd be great. We try to keep up with it, but with everything that's happening, we just don't have the time. But we do have an email. You can also go on the website, duncanvilleoutreach.org. If you'd like to donate money, you can go on PayPal. That's probably the easiest way for some. Okay. And you can also find our contact information on there.
Okay. Well, look, I think the easiest way is just to drive up, walk in the door, and there's very little chance that you'll walk into this place and not feel called to serve them in one or even more ways. So Duncanville Outreach Ministry, please, let's all do our part to rally together and help serve the community in this way. They can't do it on their own, but I'll tell you, they've been doing a very great job. And if you could see everything going on over here, you'd see that these girls are working hard. So thank you very much. This is Neighbors Helping Neighbors, and I'm blessed to be here today. Thank y'all.
Thank you.